His butt and his jeans, delish.
Is he straight? Do we know this?
Listen, here's the thing.
Okay, bitch, let's go.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear the songs that she writes about Blake Lively.
I'm trying to be patient, and everyone is really like getting on my nerves.
Is this an on-air story?
Well, maybe.
Okay.
Ready? Action.
All right, here we go. All right, so right before we film, we take like a cheers picture, and Meko spilled her wine, and it didn't get on me, and I have white pants on today.
Thank
God. So it was actually quite perfect.
And the magical thing is, whatever you put on this, you must have like stain resistant because it soaked right off.
No, I think
Thank
it's like
God we have dark chairs.
It's polyester. It must be like polyester.
Well, whatever.
They're from Wayfair. It's not. There's
I
nothing
love
special.
Wayfair.
These are great chairs. I think they're super cute. Do you remember when we went to Shawn Mendes and Tammy spilled her red drink all over my white pants?
Yes.
And I kept.
Did
like,
my mom get them out for you?
Your mom got the stain out for me, but I kept comparing myself to Cindy Mancini from Can't Buy Me Love. It is a dessert wine.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's so funny. I think he's touring again. I just saw him on Instagram and he announced it.
I didn't even know that he was like still a thing.
I don't think, I think he
No
hasn't
new
had
songs,
a new, yeah,
but he's,
yeah.
you know.
I think he's hot.
He's super cute.
Yeah. Is he straight? Do we know that?
Well, he dated that one girl for a long time.
Camila.
Yeah. And they had like a song together.
Camille.
I think he's artsy.
I think he's artsy. He's very cute. He's very Canadian.
So I have a question, speaking of that. So do you think every marriage in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is a lavender marriage?
What's a lavender marriage?
Where the husband's actually gay but can't like come out and tell people?
Oh, I don't know.
So it's like, so then they're a beard, but those girls are too cute to be called beards.
Yeah.
So it's a lavender marriage.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, I didn't know it was a thing either until I saw a gay guy talk about it on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's his theory.
It's totally true. And then there's this one guy, I know I've sent it to you before. He's super cute, but he's like, oh, honey, let's just get married. You know what's going to be great about being married to me?
Yes.
You're always going to look hot.
Yes.
We're always going to match.
We're going to be in shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lipstick on your teeth, baby, I'm going to fix it.
We got a great house.
Yeah.
Fully decorated. They won't argue about that or budget.
Yeah. Right?
They're probably broke.
If Chris ever left me, that's probably what I would do. Just 100%. For the companionship.
That'd be awesome. That would be perfect.
And you never have to worry about being in the mood.
Right. And you could go on all the fabulous trips together.
Yes.
And have your +1 for everything.
Right? And I'd be like, just pick my outfit for me tonight. Right?
And if have separate bedrooms. It's basically how you're going to live when you're like 70. But earlier.
I know, but Chris and I like to touch feet.
Oh.
We're like otters.
Yeah.
Like how otters have to hold hands.
Yeah, we do that too. But we have a sleep number. So we have the separate thing. Mm-hmm. Although we're both in the same like plane. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, your feet probably stay at the same level. But do you sleep at different
head
levels?
Well, they don't have to. They don't have to.
No, I know they don't have to.
We do, because we're both in snore mode.
Oh, do you have to be in snore mode?
No, I don't have to.
I travel with you a lot, and we've shared a bed, and I've never known you to snore.
I never snore, but we just happen to both be in, because it's easier to make the bed when it's like the same.
Oh, got it.
And then we lost the remote for a while, so it's a thing.
So do you put two separate twin fitted sheets on?
Not anymore. We just do one king size.
Oh, got it. Okay, so then it's easier to be that way.
It's easier just to be in the same.
Does the snore mode really work?
It does for Randy. He doesn't snore anymore. Because your feet, it elevates your feet and your head so that I don't know, it's some position.
I would just sandwich Chris like a clam in the middle.
And you've got to put him on a certain sleep number.
Okay.
So the bed gets like,
I don't know. We might have to look into that.
Percentages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ours is old, but it still works great.
Okay. It's not that old. I mean, you've got it in the last 10 years.
Yeah. It's probably 8 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a big weekend. Are you recovered?
Oh my
goodness!
goodness!
So much company and a party.
So, we left
you were in
Wednesday for CMA Fest, which was super cool. I had never been to that before. Yeah. So there's sections of the city. It's just free concerts. Now, it's so free to go to the concert. It's like $20 for a neutral, but it's free to go to the concert. But we were in bush country.
Did people try to smuggle in? Do they bring their own stuff?
I mean,
I'm
you
sure
can have,
they do,
so
right?
technically inside of CMA Fest, you were supposed to have a clear bag.
Okay.
Not everybody followed that rule.
Got it.
And no one really got in trouble. But when you go to the big concert at night in Nissan Stadium, you have to have a clear bag.
And that's
no
free
bag.
too?
No, that's not free. You have to buy tickets to that.
Wow, Nashville's so generous.
So, but the stuff that's like around the city,
Yeah.
it was really cool. So we were over with the Busch Light people, and they had Busch Light country like in one section.
Okay, and say why you guys are there.
Oh, for Busch Light?
Yeah.
Because my husband and my brother-in-law, Chris and Casey Kiefer, are sponsored by Busch Light.
Okay.
So, yes. They're
So
part
look
of like
at their
their outdoor
cans.
people. Yes.
And
in the fall, there'll be a whole national campaign. Like you'll go any liquor store, grocery store you go into, you're going to see Chris and Casey's face like hunting.
Yeah.
And then there'll be like a giveaway where you can sign up and you can go on a hunt with Chris and Casey.
Yeah.
So they did it regionally last year.
Where do they go? Midland,
was-
Michigan?
No, I think either their place in Missouri or their place in Ohio.
Oh, cool.
One of the two. But it went over so well regionally last year that it was like a no-brainer for Busch Light to say we need to work with these boys nationally.
That's
so very
so cool. Yeah.
So one of the perks are country music because they do sponsor country artists and NASCAR. So I mean, I could probably pick a race. I mean,
let's go.
right? So their race car driver, I don't remember his name, cute little guy. He was there with us, and then Casey like raced him like on this race car simulator thing. It was really good.
Oh, that's cute.
And then Riley Green. Okay, so this is where Kelsey will put the picture. Bloop.
Yeah. He's a big drink of water. I mean, I don't know who he is until you sent me the picture, and I was like,
my gosh.
he's hot. Who is that guy?
He's super hot. His personality is a little, sorry to ruin it for you ladies, and just dry, right?
You know, because he probably never had to try.
This man has never had to try a day in his life. And now to be a famous country star, pick a lady.
Yeah, I don't like that. He probably was like monotone voice. Let me guess.
Yeah, he just was,
Oh.
Yeah.
And I mean, see, that's why funny guys get the hot girls.
Exactly. So, one thing Super Dave used to always say, find me the hottest girl in the room and then show me that there's the guy that's sick of fucking her. Because that, no personality, no brains. It doesn't matter how hot you are.
I love that your dad gave you that.
Right.
But let's moving on.
So people started lining up at noon to meet Riley Green, and he didn't show up until 3.
Oh.
So, I mean, being part of the Busch Light crew, get to go meet him, chit chat, talk to him a little bit before he has to be on. It was very, very cool.
It's cool that they did that.
Yes. And then Lisa and I got our picture with him. But what this
You said you got to talk to him for a bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, he talked more to Chris and Casey than us.
What is he like? 30?
Yeah, I think he's like in his like early to mid 30s. Okay. Somewhere between like 32 and 36.
Okay.
His butt and his jeans, delish.
Yeah.
So good. So, but the meet and greet, you came up and you were technically in a Busch Light bar to meet him. So the kids and the young girls that waited in line in that hot, hot sun to find out you had to be 21 to get up like into the little bar area. So
were there like teeny boppers?
Yes.
galore?
I mean, there's little girls who got dressed up and it was like, I'm going to meet Riley Green.
That is kind of heartbreaking.
It is. So, but the best is you would see like the people come through and they try to keep their composure and say hi, take a picture. And then 5 steps after walking past him, getting ready to go down the stairs and exit, these girls will be like, oh my God, oh my God, he's so hot, he's so hot. And I mean, he is. And then the best is the older women. Because he would put his arm around people. You know how sometimes
they're like,
they don't want to like touch randos. I mean, he was good. He put his arm around people. But older ladies would just go for it and touch his butt. Just touch his butt.
There's no sexual harassment there.
We're losing it. And part of you wants to be like, okay, I feel bad for you because we're like, dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't, because you're cashing some checks, pal.
Yes.
Yes. So
this will only add to his fan base.
Well, and that's the thing. So these girls that were anywhere from say 16 to 20 that didn't get to come in, and they're like over on the side. They all gathered around as they were getting, booted from the line. Now, he walked down those stairs. He paid no attention to those girls. Now, the little kids that they pulled aside that waited, he sat, took pictures with them, talked to them. That was great because otherwise that'd be horrible PR.
Yeah.
But those young girls, that's your next generation of fans.
Yeah.
Right? So, and those girls, I mean, they could be Swifties. So they could turn on you in a second.
They could
So
turn on
you
you.
don't go over and say hi to them.
You don't piss that crowd off.
No, because you know what they're not doing anymore?
Right.
Listening to your music.
Right.
It's no longer being
And
downloaded.
you're not relevant on social media, or they're trashing you.
Yes.
It only takes one. And then it multiplies into a Blake Lively situation.
There was this super cute blonde girl, and she was just waiting. She was so giddy. When he blew past their crowd,
Her face.
the look on her face, she just fell. She fell apart, and then she just got pissed.
Ooh, we should know what her name is.
I know. The thing is, if it wasn't going to be so obvious that I was just going to be filling her face.
You should have pretended like you were with like CMA TV and been like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I just happened to see your micro expression
Right.
when he buzzed past
Tell me how you really feel about Riley Green now.
Yeah, tell me right now. Right now. What is your feeling right now?
So,
Also, what is your handle?
right? I'll tag you. But he did talk to little kids. And then he was one of the acts that night at Nissan Stadium.
Okay.
And he sounds just as good live as he does on his
Okay,
album.
well, in his defense, maybe he had to get in the zone.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
don't know.
I mean, come on
I've
now.
never
That's
performed at Nissan
that's
Stadium. So I don't know. But I feel like there's some sort of a zone. I remember hearing about certain artists. I can't remember, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Barbara Streisand or someone.
Okay.
Who would refuse to talk the day that she had to perform
Okay.
for her voice. So I'm just thinking.
No,
I don't
I mean,
know.
I get
Maybe
it,
he's
but
personality. He
you're
put it on hold on the shelf.
He's a big enough star. I just heard about him this year when Chris said we're going to CMA Fest and Riley Green's going to be like the big person the day that we're there. And I was like, I don't even know who Riley Green is. So then I looked him up and I'm like, well, he's hot. Let's see what he sings. And I'll put Riley Green radio on in the kitchen. And then it is like Jason Aldean, you know, Luke Bryan, that kind of stuff. So it's a station I like to listen to. Hootie was Darius Rucker performed that night. He was so good. And he sang some Hootie songs.
He did? Oh,
Yes.
I love that. Which ones?
I Only Want to Be With You. I shouldn't have said songs. That was
Yeah.
the only song he sang. But I mean, it was awesome. So then, of course, anybody over the age of 40 in my section went.
We're just like
bananas for it.
Only
Yes,
wanna
we
be
were
with
so
you.
excited.
Yeah.
But we left after Brooks and Dunn. We didn't even see Jason Aldean because it was already 12:30 at night. Jason Aldean didn't come on yet, and so Casey and Lisa had to be at the airport at 4 in the morning. We had to be at the airport at 8, and we had been in the hot sun, drinking and everything all day long. We were just exhausted. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm going to land. We have a 2-hour drive.
Yep.
And then 40 minutes later, 3 families are going to be at my house.
Yeah.
So Chris and I actually were very well behaved. But Busch Light already said, oh my God, we had so much fun with you guys. We can't wait to do this again next year. I'm like, well, that sounds good because they already want them. And they're already like, let's keep this going.
Right.
Because we were supposed to be there for the whole thing. But I don't know if I could do 5 days of CMA Fest.
Or you do it in increments.
You have
right?
to.
You go 2 hours Friday, 2 hours Saturday, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's how you'd have to do it.
So, but all these like young, cute girls that worked for Anheuser-Busch based out of New York, like living in the West Village, like being super cute. I'm thinking this needs to be Kylie's job. She would be brilliant at this.
Yeah.
But back to, we were just having a conversation about AI and music. And I was saying that I was going to use it to like create like a little jingle about Tuesday Wine. Totally fine, because I think that's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
But how people are worried that it's going to take over actual just music. But I would say from the country aspect, for sure, that there's such an authenticity there. And just the way like country music singers come together, like you'll be in a honky tonk and they're like, oh my gosh, like up on the 5th floor, like Lucas Nelson and Eric Church are singing together.
Yeah.
AI is not going to be able to do that.
Oh, right.
know?
Right. No, they're not. And they're not going to replicate any kind of live music or concerts or whatever. But what I think they will help do is produce music.
Well, Steve Aoki might be in trouble, but not like Garth Brooks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Or like write music,
Yeah.
So I think that would be helpful there. So like Katy Perry can get rid of her whole team because she doesn't write any of her own music.
Yeah, but her songs are like so weird anyways. Did you see the way that she was dancing at her concert?
No.
She looked like a drunken robot. So actually AI music would be perfect for her.
Yeah, that'd be great. I saw her in concert.
Was it? I'm sure it was
Good.
entertaining.
It was good. We took the girls. It was right before we moved, so 10 years ago probably.
Okay.
And she was great. She had it was like California Girl.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Concert or whatever. So that was like the theme. And it was good. It was really good. Mm-hmm. But who knows if she sang. She certainly didn't write her own music, but she might have sang it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I guess the appeal to country music too, is that Riley Green's like, hey, this happened in my life. Yeah. This is why I wrote this song.
Well, that's why Taylor Swift is so relevant, so popular, because it's her life that you're hearing about in song, good or bad.
Yes. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear the songs that she writes about Blake Lively. I mean, do you think maybe they're still secret friends?
I mean,
I think it'd be hard to be.
It'd be hard to be.
Yeah.
I heard the skinny was that the whistleblower from the Swift party was her dad.
Oh.
And I was talking to my husband about that. I was talking to Randy, and he was like I wouldn't do that for one of our girls. Uh-huh. Who her dad was like, I don't know if he's an attorney. I know he had a big job at one point.
And he's probably been around enough legalese in the past.
And he was just like, put the hammer down. But yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I totally would
heck
do that.
yeah. Chris and Randy would, blow down the walls and expose all. Yeah.
Okay, bitch, let's go.
Right?
Yes.
Well, and just now, I'm not completely studied up on it, but basically Justin Baldoni lost his defamation case.
Yes.
Right? And those are really hard to pull through anyways. Mm-hmm. He was not going to get $450 million from the New York Times.
That was a little aggressive.
It was aggressive, but it made a point. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And it put their names, Blake and Ryan's names, through sludge.
Yep.
Right? And if anything, it does that. I think Ryan will be able to bounce back just fine. I don't think anybody's going to want to work with Blake.
No, she's
unless
done. Which is sort of unfortunate just from a perspective of I think Ryan was a puppet master behind it all.
Oh, for sure.
And so for him to be scot-free, to be able to do whatever he wants, and she's sort of maimed, even though she is a mean girl, even though she is a bitch, just for her to be cast aside and him not touched, it's going to be kind of unfair. But I think you're right. I think that's how it's going to play out.
Unless she does stuff completely independently, I don't think anybody's going to
Unless she gets a divorce, girl, let's go. Take those kids and
you never know.
Move on.
You never know.
Yeah.
But you have your grad party coming up.
I do.
Yeah.
On Saturday. Yeah.
So you ready?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, you get at a point where you're like, I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
I mean, it's a grad party.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a grad party. It's not a wedding.
Yeah.
Second of all, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Mm-hmm. The only thing I am worried about is it's supposed to rain at some point, and so we can't. Actually, Evie downloaded this really expensive weather app just to
she was
watch
panicking.
the radar hour by hour. It's even more accurate than AccuWeather. She's
like,
this is the most accurate.
It's more accurate than the Midland Channel 5 news.
I guess so. So we'll see. But I mean, we have a plan B. It can be, we'll move the tents and then have it from our garage out front.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So that could be an option.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What day do the tents come?
Tomorrow. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I know. That's the problem. So I might have them do it just
in case. Mm-hmm. I mean, the upside is that, the grass will be kind of wet, but the grass will be protected with the tent for the next few days.
So it won't be soaking.
Yeah, because I think it is supposed to rain for sure on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So
but your grad party was lovely.
It was. And and we had great college friends that came into town, and then we had the big, the crazy party afterwards.
Yeah.
And it was just the conversations of the old bulldogs, welcoming the new bulldog. It was
really
super
cute.
fun. It was super fun. And, my college bestie Testa, and her family came in, and it's just so funny, for years you're on the same playing field. And now I'm about to be an empty nester, and she has an 8, 6, and 3-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
her kids were very cute.
They're so cute. But and they were just everywhere.
Exhausting.
So tiring.
But it wasn't at the time.
No, when you're in it, you don't know any different.
That's your life.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's just like all of a sudden we'd be like, where's Oliver? Because that kid has a speed of 10,000 or sleeping.
Oh,
that's it.
Okay. So he's like a golden retriever puppy.
I was like, get him some ice skates. If Auntie Katie needs to bring all the gear, I'll even pay for the ice time. This kid would get blasted by a tornado, a brick wall, mauled by a bear, get up and just be like, I'm fine.
I'm ready.
Totally fine.
That's awesome.
I'm delivering some kitties to Pittsburgh.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Are they going to take some?
Chapman's are in for kitties, yes.
Okay.
So, and then our graphic designer here, Huff, he's going to take a kitty. So, I mean.
You're going to get rid of them all.
Well, I mean, if I have people, yeah.
Oh, I got to send a video. So my dog is not a cat, but she thinks she's an indoor cat. She's a golden retriever. She ate a squirrel on Saturday night. So I couldn't go to your after party.
Yeah.
We've had a long couple weeks. And we're sitting by our fire, and all of a sudden she's like staring this like corner down, and I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And all of a sudden she grabbed this baby chipmunk or squirrel. I don't know the difference.
Well, a chipmunk is going to be bigger than
okay.
Or smaller
it was
than
a baby.
Squirrel.
It was a baby.
I'm gonna go with.
I'll
it was
show you
probably
the video.
A chipmunk.
I'll
Okay.
put the video on here.
Okay.
She just went like this, and then dropped it, and this thing was like, and then it wasn't. And we were like, Kelly. Oh, today's her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday,
Kelly. She's 7. Big girl.
Oh, are you looking for her?
But yeah, that was our excitement on Saturday night.
That's pretty wild.
And we, very naturey of us, got a shovel and put it in the woods.
That's amazing.
We didn't have to call Chris or anything. We're like, we can do this.
Oh my gosh. So it was just so funny because Chris and like his hockey buddies that were up, and they all played like college hockey together. And they are talking like everybody in Big Rapids still knows who they are. And they're like, I just have this thing in my head that I'm going to show up at shooters and everybody's going to be like, oh, Darce, you're back.
Yeah. Possibly.
Like, nobody knows who you are.
I know.
I go, they did start following me on Instagram. Just going to say that. But
who?
Star Shooters.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yay.
But,
it is grad season. So last weekend we were consumed with grad parties.
Yes.
All good, all fun, awesome people. These kids are going to go far in life. But it's also wedding season.
not for me.
I have 3 weddings this summer.
But you have young people in your life.
I know. I love it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I have, so I've had to order some dresses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is so fun.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had to do that in a long time. So
Okay.
wedding guest dresses. That's what I Google.
Okay.
You know?
So you're not wearing the same one to all 3? Are they like different?
They're different
attire?
people.
Okay.
I could.
Yeah.
But like 2 are in the fall and 1's in the summer.
Okay. So the only wedding I have coming up is next summer.
Okay.
And it's my other like college sorority sister, Aurelia. She's getting married.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You still have people that you know getting married.
I still have people I know getting married.
I have children of people I know that are getting married.
Right?
That's who these all are.
Okay.
Like one is my little cousin and she's only 26, 27.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's my second cousin actually. And the other one is a good friend, Shelly Brady.
Yeah.
Her son is getting married. And then the other one works for me. So I know.
Yeah. So that's the next phase, right?
Yes.
Is that it's going to
But
be.
those are more fun because I'm not
You're
invited
not
to
in
much.
it. Yeah.
Which I love. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, invite me to a shower or 2 once in a while. Not every time.
I know. I hope Aurelia has a fun bachelorette party. Like
Are
she
you
talked
gonna
about. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Where would her bachelor party be?
Well, when
so
we left
bachelor
for
party
spring
in
break,
your 20s versus your 40s,
well, yeah. I mean,
right? That's got to look way different.
Yeah, I mean, it could be at a resort in Mexico.
Yeah,
you know,
but like
like a big spa retreat,
like a good one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you got a little bit more cash.
Yeah,
in your
right.
40s and you do 20s.
Yeah, but then
and so do your friends.
I also don't think it's going to be, where 30 girls are going to something. It'd be a small
like 3 or
group
4,
of people.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you and your closest.
Yes. So, but she's not doing a bridal shower. Because I mean,
What does she need?
Yeah, they have established homes.
Yeah.
Like,
plus, I think they're a little awkward as a bride. I had one, and I was like, "Do I really have to open my gifts up in front of people?"
I know.
Like, if I feel like it's
well, it's awkward when you open it and you're like, Really?
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't register for this. Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
Or, Chris and I just got really happy with like the little laser gun. And you're like, oh my God, we totally like picked this out as a joke and somebody actually bought it.
I know. So funny. Glow Medical Spa is Mid-Michigan's premier med spa for skin rejuvenation and anti-aging. The trained nurses and estheticians at Glow specialize in non-invasive facial aesthetics such as toxins, fillers, and lasers. Glow is ranked in the top 1% of all providers in the U.S. for Botox and filler, as well as Black Diamond Icon status for Hydrofacial.
Glow Body specializes in body contouring with Ensculpt Neo, Emcella, weight loss clinic, and therapeutic massage. Book an appointment today at glow-skinspa.com.
So this segment is a little different. So I was not creative enough to think of something that we could talk about. So I surveyed our friends.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to get topics.
They came up with several different topics.
Okay.
None of them are related. So per usual of how we talk about things anyway, it's just going to flow.
Yeah, squirrel.
It's going to flow like that. So we'll start like slower.
Okay.
With some of the like fun topics.
Okay.
And then it might get a little deep.
Sure, let's do it.
You up for that?
I'm totally up for it.
So, are you watching Perfect Strangers? 9 Perfect Strangers with Nicole
Yes.
Kidman?
I don't know if I like it as much as I liked the last season.
Because I didn't know what was happening first season, so I think I love the suspense of it.
Yeah.
But I don't love the second. In fact, I stopped watching it.
It's a little gory.
Like, you're a little boring.
It's boring this past episode.
Wait,
because I saw your outline and I was like, I don't know how far behind I am.
Oh, I'm only on episode 2.
Oh, yeah. No, and I'll watch it in the sauna blanket.
Yeah.
Right? So my arms are in there. So
Yeah,
you can't really
move.
change the channel, look at your phone. This last episode was a little like gory.
Are they only downloading one at a time?
Yeah, it's weekly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how many are out?
Maybe 5.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll wait a couple weeks and then binge the whole thing.
You're not going to want to binge it.
Really?
No, because it's not entertaining enough to sit and wait for the next episode, even if it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm not into it.
Okay.
I think Nicole Kidman is gorgeous and beautiful. There's a couple angles where you could totally just see like the filler in her lip. Sorry, girl, I don't want to like rag on you, but at some point you just have to be like,
well,
if you're really skinny, it's really easy to see that stuff.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yes, which is why we preach about getting a facelift earlier in life.
Yeah.
Because you don't. Her skin is thin.
Her skin is thin. I think it's been tightened a few times.
Yeah.
And
I think she's already had it.
Yeah. But she's just been on the forefront of like all the new things.
Sorry, my husband's texting me.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree. She needs to be careful, especially with filler.
There was one bad angle where she's like sitting on a bed talking to a dude, and I'm like, nope, that we should have done something different there.
Okay.
Because then there's other clips. I mean, she looks like a porcelain goddess, you know?
Have you watched Better Sister?
Yes, I watched.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm in the last episode. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I love that. I love that whole series.
It's wrapped in a bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
It's
love
wrapped in
Jessica
a
Biel.
bow.
I love what's her
Jessica
name?
Biel?
Yeah, Jessica. No, who's the other chick?
Oh, the blonde chick from
Her sister, Nikki.
Anchorman?
Yes. She's hilarious. Elizabeth Banks.
Yes.
Hilarious. Anyway, but the topic was, do we think microdosing actually works like they do on 9 Perfect Strangers?
Okay, so I've never done microdosing from a medical grade. I did my own dosing in college, with some magic mushrooms. Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I did mushrooms
Did you
like a
eat,
bunch of times.
like mushrooms, or did you eat gummy mushrooms?
like literally like they looked like freeze dried mushrooms.
Okay. Did they make you high?
So I mean, I guess you could say I microdosed. Like there was a time where like I had like a little stash and I would just nibble on a few before I went to the bar, and I could have like 2 Bud Lights and just be the happiest. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Now my dad listens every week.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, Super Dave.
But yeah, the thing is, I'm lucky that I never had like a bad episode.
Yeah.
Right. Really lucky.
Well, I think it would be bad if it's laced with like fentanyl.
Well, now I would be more worried about that stuff. I mean, you weren't worried about that back then.
I did microdosing of mushrooms last year.
But you said you didn't really feel much.
I didn't feel anything, but then all of a sudden we gave up and we just started drinking wine. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Well, I mean, so Earth Day, we used to hammer down
Mushrooms?
mushrooms back in the day.
What does it make you feel like on its own?
Just
High, happy?
yeah,
Is it like
high
a pot
and happy. Not lethargic like pot happy, and not like, you know, a surge of energy like other things. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like just an even dose of just happy. But you drink like a fish.
Oh,
so then
'cause you're
when
thirsty.
those wear off, when the mushrooms wear off, then you're just hammered. So then you can just like keep going. But I did have some friends who did not have good experiences, and you're kind of stuck in it until it's over.
Like what? Hallucination?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool too.
So, but if it's gonna be like 9 Perfect Strangers right now, like the people on there, I don't want to do what they're doing.
Oh.
Like they
They're
look like they're
intensive.
like not having fun.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine line between like microdosing the way that you do medically and like ayahuasca, which is the tea that makes you throw up. And
but see, I wouldn't want to do that.
I wouldn't either.
That
That's
sounds
what Aaron
terrible.
Rodgers does.
And then, I mean, not that I have like demons to face or anything, but in my luck, it'd be something I said to somebody in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's going to be a burden on my heart forever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it brings out. It's interesting just from like that perspective, like how deep does it go?
Yeah.
And it's not regulated, right? So you don't know how deep it can go for you versus me versus anybody else.
So
that
I
might
don't
be
know.
weird.
I think my
But I
days with
think
that kind of
for
stuff are
like,
over.
you know, the purpose of PTSD.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting when we talk to Nasim.
Yep.
If she ever microdosed, because PTSD, I know she suffered from it.
Yeah.
Or suffers. And we're talking about this lady that we're interviewing in a couple weeks. But it's helped people that have been veterans.
And I'm all down
100%.
for that.
Yes.
For sure.
Which is why clinical trials are now going on with like ibogaine, like the drug that mimics a mushroom.
Okay.
In that sort of a trip, whatever
Yeah.
it is, for PTSD.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna take me back to circa like 1999 Earth Day, Big Rapids, I'm all in.
Yeah.
For fun, if I can get it legally, and it's, you know,
Right. But I think it
Not
serves a different
grown
purpose
on
if,
cow
if your brain is functioning that
Yeah.
way.
Okay.
I think. I'm not a scientist.
No, and I know that people they'll do couples therapy, and whether it's like a form of like ecstasy or mushrooms, like for a bonding experience. And I mean, that's a legit thing, you know,
For sure.
So
It does. Whatever makes your true feelings come out, I think, is what the purpose of this is,
yes,
right? I
yeah.
don't know.
But I mean, I could think of a few things that we did, like nothing crazy or illegal, except for consuming the mushrooms.
And that was illegal then. I
was
don't think it's
illegal then.
illegal now, is it?
Well, I think if you were to grow it on cow poop and try to sell it might be
Might
illegal.
be a little illegal.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would ever go to a retreat like that. Because
No.
it's too randos.
It's too rando. I would, and for what you're probably paying for it too.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Canyon Ranch.
Where's Canyon Ranch?
Well, the big one's in Arizona, but
Okay.
there's even a beautiful Canyon Ranch spa like at the Venetian in
Okay.
Vegas. You know what I mean? I'd
Yeah.
want to go to like one of those big spots
Yes.
where like I want to eat the clean food.
Yeah.
I want to do all of like the
But
yoga
also I want to
and
have
stretching.
like a glass of wine at night.
Boom.
So-
Don't take things away from me that I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go on a retreat like that.
Yes.
Actually, we should try to plan that.
Perfect.
Yeah. There's another one in Arizona too that I always wanted to go to. And the name escapes me now. But it starts with an M. Anyway, we should try to do that.
Montage.
No, it's like not Miramar. Something like that. We should try to do that.
I'm all
That'd be
in.
really fun.
I would
you
love
could
that.
cite. Actually, our friend Patty went to it, and she went alone. She was trying to get me to go. This is a few years ago, and I couldn't go. I couldn't get away.
Okay.
But yeah, you can sign up for like all the Pilates, yoga
Yes.
classes all day, and they serve wine at night.
Perfect.
And you're kind of contained in a resort, but in the desert, so you feel like you're doing something.
You're secluded
Next to
and you're
nature.
away.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for like a rager or anything. Like I'm going out to just relax.
That's how you want to spend a weekend anyway.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if microdosing works, and I would never go to a retreat like that.
No, I wouldn't either. And that looked like secluded into the snowy, like they're in the Alps or something like that. And I mean, have you seen the episode where they're like cold plunging?
No.
Okay. I mean, I feel like people could get hurt, they die, and it gets covered up when you go to a retreat like that one.
Yes.
Yes. So I wouldn't sign up for that.
Okay.
So
how can we make meal planning less daunting?
You just got to commit to doing it.
Because you are the queen of meal
planning. I am. But so listen, here's the thing. So normally I try to do that on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was fucking exhausted on Sunday.
Well, you couldn't do it this week.
Right?
So did you do it Monday?
Monday morning, I woke
you
up
really?
and, well, I just did my chicken thighs and sweet potatoes.
Okay.
I didn't do anything else.
Do you change it up? Or
The chicken thighs and sweet potatoes are constant because everybody likes it. And it's good to be like in our little like glass Tupperware for a few days.
Tell me about the chicken thighs. You get them from Costco or where?
I get it at Costco, Meijer, whatever, and skin on, bone in.
Okay.
You can peel the skin off. It's there for flavor.
Okay.
How
do you cook them?
So on a sheet pan.
Okay. Do you have to rinse it off?
No, I don't rinse my chicken.
Okay.
But I throw down the chicken
I don't have
thighs.
to ever touch it. I can just like open it, throw it on a pan.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna want some tongs to place it so that skin up.
Skin up.
Skin up. Yeah.
As opposed to what?
Well, because there's no skin on the bottom of the chicken thigh because that's the inside of the bird.
Okay.
And then you cube up sweet potatoes.
Yep.
And normally I take like,
how big are your cubes? Like this?
Yeah, I would say like a piece of cubed cheese.
Okay, got it.
So sometimes that's 3 little sweet potatoes. I had one like giant.
Do you peel it first?
I peel it first and then cube it up. And then those go in a bowl. And then I make like this little zhuzh sauce of tomato paste and olive oil. And funny enough, Jody made something on Instagram.
She's the chef.
Her pictures are so perfectly curated.
They're perfect. She should submit them to a cookbook.
Yes.
Because they should publish that.
Yeah.
So
she does such a beautiful job. So I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this recipe. Yeah. So then she sent me like a screenshot of like the cookbook that she was getting it out of. And it was more of like an Indian recipe.
Okay.
And it had like olives and stuff in it, of which my family wouldn't have eaten. So, but basically it just kind of gave me just a little idea of like how to do it.
Yeah.
For what my family would like. So it's tomato paste, olive oil, and I use garlic, salt, pepper, and cayenne pepper.
Ooh.
And then just a little bit of turmeric.
So the olive oil cuts down the paste.
Yes. And then I just whip it up really good. I brush it over the chicken thighs and then zhuzh it with a little extra olive oil. And then dump the sweet potatoes in the rest of the bowl with that mixture. Toss the sweet potatoes around and then put them all around the chicken thighs.
Okay.
And you bake it at 425 for about 35 minutes. I pull it out just to see like how is the skin crisping up, that kind of thing. And I might zhuzh it with just a little bit more olive oil and like pepper. Pop it back in for 10 more minutes. And then I just wait for it to cool. And then I just have single serving like glass Tupperware dishes. And I just put a chicken thigh with a spoonful of sweet potatoes in it.
Okay, I'm going to start doing that.
And everybody likes it. And then even if I'll chop up the chicken and the sweet potato and put it in a salad.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So, I mean, you don't like goat cheese, but like if it's a little bit of the sweet potato and the chicken, like in arugula with a little bit of goat cheese. Oh, goat cheese, so good. Yeah. But feta, it would be great with feta.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
The other thing I do is steak, and I just get like little like medallion steaks, not filet, like sirloin. And I rub them down with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and I let them sit for like 35 minutes on the counter. Okay. And then I only cook them for about a minute and a half on each side, either out on the Blackstone outside or inside, like in a skillet. And then I wait for those to cool and cube them up into like little single servings. And I mean, people in our family will even just take a little Tupperware and just eat it.
Yeah.
You know, like a snack. Yeah, a protein snack. Or put it on rice with a little bit of soy sauce, or put it in a wrap, put it in eggs.
Yeah.
So then you always have something.
Some kind of protein.
Yeah.
I've been doing protein balls every week.
I like your protein balls.
Thank you. They're different consistencies every week. It's always a surprise. I don't know if my measurements are wrong or if I just try to compromise on ingredients. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, no, that might happen sometime. You know what I've done in the past that's really good is you just get quinoa, like raw quinoa, and put it in a pan and just kind of like saute it till it starts to crackle like popcorn. And then you put those in there and then it gives it a little bit of crunch.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. I really like that.
Because I do the flaxseed, but I think I'm doing the flaxseed. I do flaxseed like where it's broken down rather than the flaxseed like harder thing.
But sometimes too much flaxseed makes me like really gassy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I won't give you much flaxseed then.
Yeah.
I try to limit that. I put in protein powder.
Ooh, okay.
Try to make it a little bit more
Ooh, you know what I'm going to have you try? So First Form came out with their own colostrum.
Ooh.
And I was like, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I still have my other colostrum.
I've been a hardcore Armor person, but I'm like, I'll give it a try. Dry scooping it's a lot easier. And they have the science as to why theirs is better, right?
Okay.
But just as a consumer who is just going to dry scoop it and put it in stuff, it's better.
Is it better?
Yeah. I'm going to give
I can't dry scoop anymore. Now I just put it in I do my athletic greens and my protein. And I just throw it in there.
So this one you only need 2 scoops, where Armor you need 4.
Yeah.
This one's 2
it's
scoops.
because the scooper is
So
the
tiny.
tiniest thing ever.
Absolutely. But I'll put 1 scoop in my morning elixir.
Okay.
And then I dry scoop 1 scoop. But I could probably dry scoop both scoops because it just tastes so much cleaner.
Okay.
You just have to try it.
Okay. I'll try it.
I'm going to bring some by.
All right. Can't wait. All right. So now that we are over 40/50.
Yes.
Could Mahjong be our new hobby?
Okay.
I want to learn how to play.
I've always wanted to learn how to play Mahjong. And then I was talking to our friend Michelle when I was like really in like a funk about empty nest and all the stuff and freaking out about like Chris and Kylie's trip and I'm going to be all by myself. And she was trying to get women to teach her last summer. And she's like, it's fun. It's hard. She's like, but wants to start something here in the winter time.
Okay, let's do it.
Like all of us doing
Let's
it
do
here.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love to play. Oh, and you want to know why? Remember, was it Crazy Rich Asians?
Yes.
Where she like meets up and she's like with the old like Chinese
strategy
moms.
game. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try.
But who are we going to get to teach us?
I don't know. Can we do it online? I feel like you could figure it out. We have to buy the kit.
Yeah.
And then we have to figure out like, there's got to be something
I feel like there's a family in your neighborhood where a mom lives with them and she could probably teach us.
the 2 grandmas.
Yes.
Yeah, I could ask. Well, they're Filipino.
Oh, I thought they were Chinese.
Yeah.
We could figure something out.
Maybe. We can figure it out. Another real talk topic is weight loss.
Well, that's every
woman, every human.
And when you're 30, you wish you looked like you did in your 20s when you thought you were fat in your 20s and vice versa.
Do you ever see that meme that's like, God, I wish I was fat like I thought I was fat when I was 20?
I know. I mean, the difference is, like, I didn't have a ton of muscle definition in my 20s. So, like,
Who did?
It came on for me in my 30s.
Yeah. I didn't have any muscle. I feel like when you're in your 20s, you're sort of like a blob of who you were. It's a skinny blob.
Yeah.
But not a lot of definition.
Well,
for me, because I didn't lift weights.
Right. I've always had a little bit of arm tone, and I think that's old muscle memory from spinning glow sticks in college. Because spinning glow sticks.
Oh.
We would practice all week long, and I mean, our arms were ripped.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fatigued.
A lot to do with this. Yeah.
Yes. Some people now know what I did while I was in college. So anywho, what I'm not into when it comes to not just a weight loss journey, but a fitness journey is 20-somethings on Instagram telling me what I need to do. Girl, we are not in the same place.
We are not the same person. And you are not going through the same shit I am.
Nope.
Also, when you're in your 20s, you're barely out of puberty. Also, your frontal lobe has not been formed.
I know, but if my pants didn't fit after a rough weekend, I could run on the treadmill for 25 minutes a day and do something and fit in my clothes by Friday. Yeah. Right? Life is a little different now.
Yeah. Until after you've had a baby and after you have been through it a little bit.
Yes.
Then weight loss becomes harder. It really does. And I think, drugs are critical for some people, depending on what it is. I know at Glow, we do a ton. We've opened a weight loss clinic and a menopause clinic because it's a need, and they're usually hand in hand. So it's the menopause people, girls, typically are the ones who need the weight loss because you get this menopause weight gain for no real reason. And I love the description of going through menopause and describing it to a man like, if someone cut off your balls tomorrow and you had to live like that with no feeling of any testosterone in your body, then tell me how that goes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just don't get it.
They don't get it.
You know? So, yeah, everybody has their own journey. And I would say even I 100% support you if you need to go on like a GLP-1 or do something to lose weight. But while you're on that journey, make sure you work out. You don't want to just be skinny.
No.
You know? And you want to learn like, okay, so it cut out the food noise. That works. Fantastic. But are you eating the right stuff?
Right.
Are you working
eating
out?
protein?
Yep.
And that's part of what our clinic talks about versus like doing it online or whatever is when you're seeing someone in person and they're going through these food noise and all of the stuff that happens postmenopausal or premenopausal is, okay, you still have to eat protein.
Yep.
You might not be hungry, but when you are, you have to eat protein. You have to lift weights.
Yep.
Have to. Even if it's 5 pounds.
Something.
Or your body weight or whatever. You're doing 500 sit-ups or push-ups a day, whatever, a week. But something like that, the impact on your bones is critical.
Well, right? So even like my dad, you know, not on a GLP-1, but doesn't really have an appetite. Works out, perfect, stays super busy. He's never hungry.
Yeah.
Like he's just not hungry. And I tell him, I'm like, I get like Super Dave used to be a big dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Which I didn't really know him then. I only know him as skinny Super Dave.
So before my dad knew he had a thyroid problem, my dad was big. I'm talking probably like 260, 280, 38 waist pant.
What?
Yeah. And if I got that wrong, he's going to text me as soon as he listens to this episode. Just like I got a text message Monday morning. You mentioned the wrong lawyer for O.J. Simpson. It was the other lawyer.
Robert Kardashian?
No, I don't have my phone on me. You said Shapiro.
It was Shapiro. You had two.
Nope, there was a different guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't have my phone. Otherwise, I'd tell you. Oh, darn it. I don't have my phone. Anyways, we'll take a break in a hot second and I'll get my phone. But I always tell him, like, I know you're not hungry. And he's thankful to have that food noise out of his head.
Yeah.
But
how did he
you
get
have
rid
to
of
make
it?
sure.
Naturally.
So, one, he's a man. So when he got on his thyroid meds and all that kind of stuff, it jump-started his metabolism.
Okay.
So he started losing weight pretty quickly after his body started to regulate everything. And then I think just he's very obedient. Like when he has something in his head that he wants to do, and he decided he was going to.
And he's also structured. He's a very structured guy.
And if he tells himself, I'm not going to eat when I'm not hungry, he's not going to eat when he's not hungry. And I think he's just trained himself so much with that. And the difference is when he was a truck driver and all you're doing is sitting on your butt, it's easy to snack.
Yep.
And now he is just a man of all trades around town, right? He's cutting grass for this person. Oh, you have a CDL? I need you to drive a truck for my business over here. You know, oh, wow, you can help me, you know.
You got to unclog a toilet? Go to Glow.
Right? So he's like nonstop, but he would never be able to be someone who could sit down during retirement, ever.
No, that's not his style.
No, it's not his style at all. And in COVID, when we were doing nothing, he was so like angry and ornery.
We all were.
Yeah. But I mean, the most lighthearted, fun guy was just like a curmudgeon. And he didn't realize it until he was out of it. I'd call him out all the time. He'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm fine. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because all you're doing is sit around, watch TV, and this is not who you are.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. But
he looks great. But I get it. He needs to eat protein and work out. And he does work out all the time.
He does work out all the time. And you need to find yourself a good practitioner because your body has a deficit of all kinds of things. And get good blood work done so that you can figure out what you need to supplement in your life.
Yeah. And make sure your bone density doesn't go down.
Yep.
With the weight loss.
Yes.
That's huge. Huge.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So getting into more of the talk about what we're going through right now.
Okay.
And that's empty nest. I know. It's real. It's real, and it's approaching so fast. It's sort of like a freight train just coming through, like whether you are ready or not, here it comes. And so some of the topics, which I love, what are some new hobbies we can do with our hubby? Because like we're alone together.
Yes. I know.
We can't just like sit around and drink wine every night, even though we like to.
I know, but it's too easy to do that. Yeah, well, here's a good example. Kylie is coming with us this week, but Chris has had this property with his brother in Ohio for years. I've never gone. I've never gone.
Where is it in Ohio?
I don't know, like 5 hours from here.
Oh, okay. So is it near like Cincinnati? Is
no, Millersburg, I think is the biggest town.
Okay.
But it's like in a tiny, tiny little town.
Okay.
So I'm going with him. He's got to run down there on Thursday. He's trying this new, because you can feed the deer in Ohio. So he's got like big gravity feeders, and he had this new feed company come in that he's trying out, and it's the deer are eating it like crazy. So, go down, fill the feeders, do all the stuff, manage the blinds that they put up, make sure everything's like, nothing gets too overgrown before hunting season. So, and I normally would never go.
Right.
And
where are you staying?
There's a lodge there. Like there's like a nice like piece, like the boys typically don't stay there. But I said I will go if I can stay like in the log home. Right. But when you have a bunch of people down and say like they're entertaining somebody and that person's in there, and you are doing a thing with Cabela's where you're gonna have like a whole like camping series, that's not gonna fly with me in November.
So you're going this Thursday.
We're going this Thursday just for the night.
Okay.
We're gonna go down, and it just so happens that he's going on that fishing trip with Kylie. So
he needs to get stuff.
We're stopping at the big Cabela's to get stuff, and they're doing a thing with Cabela's for Father's Day. So he'll like surprise somebody with like a gift card, and like that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit of work and a little bit of like family fun. But Kylie's never been down there either. So, and it's approaching Father's Day weekend, so it's like, okay, this is all about you.
Yeah. So exactly.
Now, so I do think I will go on more hunts with him. I will not be the hunter probably, but as long as he's going somewhere where the accommodations are Katie approved, I will go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go undropped. I'm not going
to.
Hell no. Could I do it? Yes, I could do anything I put my mind to. 100%. Do I want to? No, not even a little bit.
Neither could I.
I like toilets. I like my bidet. So if I can't, it's one thing to not have my bidet. It's another thing not to have a toilet at all.
I can't even imagine.
Right?
Yes. It would be hard.
Have you thought about a hobby with Randy?
No. I mean, we both like to play pickleball. He loves to golf. I will come around eventually. I do. So I act like I've never golfed before. I've golfed since college, so I know how to play. I've been in several leagues. I just don't love the time that it takes out of my day.
Okay. That is a fair point.
And I get frustrated. So it's a circular, how do you say that? Circular thing that when you don't play, you don't get good.
No, that's
and
very
then
true.
when you don't play, you get more frustrated and you don't want to play. So it's this whole circular.
Yes. You're right.
Circular thing. So I will get back to it because I know it's important to my husband. I think what we look forward to is travel the most.
Okay.
And so like he has a meeting coming up, I don't even know, November, December in Austin. Maybe it's January. I don't know. And
see,
so
and
I'm
that's
like,
cool.
I'm just going to go with him.
Yep.
And I never would have before.
Yeah.
And now I just will. And so, things like that I think we'll do more of. And then spontaneous stuff. Like if we want to go, he's going to go to Ireland in September. We thought about going somewhere else. Like we'll just
What's
go.
he doing in Ireland in September?
A guy's weekend.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Are they golfing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, very cool.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing that, when work takes them somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Something super fun like CMA Fest. Now, granted, something like that I probably would have found, even if Kylie was smaller, a babysitter for, right? Like we just got to leave her at home this time. But when it's other things where he'd go and I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna worry about getting, someone to stay with Kylie, blah, 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 blah. And then now it's just like, okay, well, who's gonna watch the dog's situation?
Now it's the dog. Now you don't feel as bad because the dog can stay with whoever.
Yeah.
As long as they feed.
Right.
And let them out.
I know.
Although I am particular about, I don't like Callie spending the night by herself. Is that weird?
But normally your mom's there.
My mom's there. But I'm just saying, in a case that my mom cannot
And it's just like a dog sitter that comes in and out. Yeah.
I want him to stay with her because she's used to people at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. So also what evolves with an empty nester is the evolution of your relationship with your husband.
Yeah.
So, and not just like we talk about hobbies and what we're going to do with them, but like your relationship definitely changes. I mean, we talked about how you got married very young and you haven't really been with Chris since then. Randy and I got married a little later, but still it's been a long time since we've just been with each other. And so what are the implications or the benefits that happen with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you have a kid in your home, you're not going to walk around naked. You know what I mean? Well, like yesterday, Kylie was supposed to be out. She's talking to a new boy. They were doing stuff with a bunch of friends. And like he picked her up. They were going to be gone until like she had to be home at curfew.
Yeah.
And so I went to bar after work because I was like, here's the newfound Katie.
Oh, yeah.
Katie's going to go to the gym after work.
Okay.
So I went to bar and then I came home. Chris and I had, a bite to eat. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get in the shower. I was planning on putting on my PJs, no bra, and like going to chill on the couch. So I hear motion detected at front door, like at our little Alexa in the bathroom. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Maybe it's like Amazon or something. So I'm like getting ready and I'm like walking down the hallway, like to go towards the kitchen. And I could hear Kylie and this boy's voice. And I'm like, damn it. I turn around. I had to go put a bra on.
Yeah. He ruined your braless night.
Oh my God. I'm like, come on. But you know what we watched last night?
What?
Stick. It's the new Owen Wilson show.
Oh, is that good?
It's so good.
Really?
Yes.
It's on Apple?
We've been, 3 episodes were out. You know how they tease you?
Yeah.
We binged all 3. We thought we were just going to watch one. And then we talked about watching a movie. And we really liked it.
Okay.
And it got me excited to go out and golf.
Okay. It's about golf. Got it.
Yes.
I like golf when it's 73. Exactly. Not 76, 73.
Not too hot, not too cold, slight breeze.
Yeah. April 19th. Yeah. So it's either 73 to 75. I can tolerate that. Anything beyond, too hot. Anything below, too cold. The wind has got to be like a slight breeze, not like gusts of wind.
Unless I signed up to play with somebody in something, if the weather sucks, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I would golf with Kylie a couple times in shitty weather last summer because it's like, okay, well, you have to get ready for tournament season.
Right.
But other than that, no way.
Yeah.
No, the elements have to be perfect.
They have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Whereas with pickleball, I can play almost in the rain because I know it's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
Golf seems to be into perpetuity. That's the problem that I have with golf. Like, it's like, oh, it never ends. Guess what?
Yeah.
Another hole.
But when you get better at it,
I guess.
you're like,
It
oh
goes
my God, I
faster.
can't believe we've already played 9 holes. Or, oh my gosh, that was 18.
Yeah.
Or when I
let's go
played
another
with
round.
Aurelia, 36.
That's insane. I don't know how you did that.
So
That's insane.
no, but it was fun.
Yeah.
And every 9 holes you played with another twosome. So it was super fun. And I'm excited to do it again.
Yeah.
So
Plus, it was a nice course.
but I better get my
You better get.
my ass
practicing.
in gear.
I practiced a ton last year.
I only played once. I practiced a ton, but I didn't really play. Like I would go like hit balls. I would take a couple of lessons. I need to go out and play. And it's different when you're like walking from hole to hole and you just get one drive.
Yeah,
You know?
I get it. Like, I need to play more just to play. I'm not about, Randy's always like, do you want to take a lesson? No, I do not.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Jim, you're never going to change my grip.
Yeah.
And you're never going to change my swing. It's been like this for 52 years.
Yeah.
We ain't changing.
Yeah.
And if I do have to change, like, I probably won't play.
No, I think that was my problem, is that I wasn't playing a ton and I was trying to take lessons to be a better golfer. It makes no sense because then I would not go practice. I would not go play. And then I would expect like a week later, I'm supposed to be on my A game. Yeah, that's not happening.
It's like when you were taking piano lessons. I took piano lessons for a long time when I was little. And then I'd get to the lesson and my teacher would be like, oh, did you practice? Never.
Yeah.
Why would I practice? I take lessons here every week.
Yeah.
And then she died. So.
All right. All right. Well, Chris just walked in the studio. So we're on this topic. Chris, what's a hobby that you think that you would love for you and I to have in our empty nest life?
A hobby?
Yeah. A hobby we could do together.
Don't say sex and don't say golf.
Well, I have nothing. Those are the first two that came to mind.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know, travel is a big one, right? Travel, I think,
Yeah.
is different. Like, it's different. We don't have to
Yeah.
have 2 queen beds.
Yet.
But you don't want to like pick something up like new, like canning or anything?
Canning.
Yeah, that's I can't wait.
Canning.
If you
Canning.
want to start homesteading, we'll start farming.
Oh, no. He wants chickens.
Okay.
Totally on board with that.
Well, I'm not coming over unless you pen them
No,
up.
I don't want chickens. And, you know, my sister-in-law, Lisa, made a good point, is that when they would do it from like the baby chick stage,
Yeah.
it's like months before they're layers. So,
Really?
and then, so they're not getting chicks like this summer. They got straight layers. So, but then in the wintertime up here, unless you have the right situation where you can fool them that it's light out, it's summertime, it's warm.
So you have to have
you're
a
not getting
full
eggs.
on like light heat lamp.
Yeah.
The whole situation.
Like the people we get our eggs from, I mean, they must have the Taj Mahal for their chickens.
Yeah, I don't need to know
'Cause they deliver
I just
all
know they're
winter
really
long.
good eggs.
They're great eggs. So, no, and then if you have more animals, then you need to find other people
Then
to
it's
take
more
care of
responsibility.
them
Then you can't travel.
when you travel. So,
Then you got to get.
Seemed like a hobby then.
no, it's not a hobby.
Then it's like a farmhand.
And Mr. Nugget is
He's
travel
portable.
ready at all times.
He's portable.
So, I feel like that's what our travel plans need to include, is always to take Mr. Nugget.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got TSA pre-check.
Oh. Yes, we are as well. Travel will be the top of our list, and then everything else will fall below. Pickleball, then maybe golf.
But we need to do more like micro trips. Like big trips are fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, Traverse City for the weekend.
Yes,
You know,
Detroit.
Detroit for the weekend.
For sure.
You
Detroit
know?
has so much to offer.
So much to
So
offer.
that central station that my friend Diane and I try to go to, it's that
Train station? Yeah.
That was closed up the day that we were there.
Okay.
I just read an article and they're putting in a hotel there and something else. They're expanding it. So it's going to be huge now.
Yeah. No, we need to look at our calendar and plan
Let's plan
a Price Kiefer Detroit trip.
Yeah, let's do it for sure. Okay, so another question was, what about working after you've been a stay-at-home mom? You can speak to this because you kind of did the same.
I did.
You started up a career after you were home with Kylie for a while. And
I
then-
never had a break in my work history though, because I still like coded charts and did billing for the nurse practitioner up in Grayling. So not that it was not hours of my day
Yeah, but
or
it was
anything like that.
something.
So, but it was always just a little something. But it was like, so in 2019, Chris was, you know, restructuring Be Alive. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice. I'm not taking a paycheck for 1 year. And that was super rough. Right. And we had a plan and we were sticking to it. It was great. But I was the one that was starting to get nervous. And I'm like, I'm going back to work full time.
Yeah.
And so I went and got a job at an orthodontic office. I loved the ladies I worked with. I didn't love the job, you know? And I'm just going to say it. The office manager was the orthodontist's wife, and she was not a fun person to work for. She was a mean girl. She was a mean girl, and she was like a 7th grader mean girl. She would go around the office and pick and figure out who she was going to like be mean to that week. It was weird.
It's so bizarre.
It was so bizarre. It was bananas.
But it's not a leader.
No, it's called insecurity is what it is. It's 100% what it was.
Yeah. So find your place, but find it with people who want to welcome you.
Yes.
Not like that person.
But I mean, it's one thing. Do you have to go back to work? Did something change? Like, did your kid go away to school and now you're like, oh crap, we need an extra income? Or did you get divorced?
Or maybe you just
you needed something new.
Yeah, it could be a new chapter for whatever reason, right? Like maybe you just need a reason to get up in the morning.
Right. I know nothing about getting into this, but I know it is a very popular career move for women who, like I said, all of a sudden they have time on their hands, life restructure, whether they're like on their own now or whatever, selling life insurance. And I learned that from Ange because her and her husband have have had multiple companies and do that. And she said that is a huge career and it is a lot of women later on in life or divorcees. And because if you sign a policy, it's not renewable income. You get your commission boom right away.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's anywhere from like 5 to 20 grand, right? We'll sell a few of those a month, you know? Now it's not guaranteed money.
Right.
And you always got to be selling, and you're a 1099, even if you work under a certain, I don't know, brand or whatever. I mean, you're self-employed.
Yeah.
So there's other structures to it. You know, it's not like just working somewhere and having your W-2.
Right.
But, you know, it's something to think about if that's what you want to do. And
or go back to school. Like always learning or improving whatever you want to do is always such a cool thing. I always find it fascinating. I know 2 people who went back to school that are empty nesters to do a new career. And you always see these people that are on wherever, social media. And it's like, I got my master's degree at 94, you know? Which I think is so awesome. Like,
it's amazing. My brain couldn't handle that.
Yes, it could. Yes, it could. If you really wanted to do something, you were interested in it.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think you would be even better at it. I think I would be better at a master's degree at 52 than I would have been at 24.
Would you go back to school to get your master's degree?
I would do something. I've actually thought about getting a law degree now.
Interesting. So Mike, our friend, he just turned 60. He's going to law school right now. He doesn't really plan on like taking the bar, but just getting the degree and the knowledge.
And I think it's so, because I love to learn. I love to read. I love learning about new things and new topics. And I think that could also be an avenue that you go down.
Yeah.
You know, in empty nesting. Like you can pick up a hobby, you can learn something new. It doesn't always have to turn into like a revenue stream.
Right.
Necessarily.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Unless it needs to be.
Yeah.
Right? In which case I could also work
Do you
in and
need
out.
it? You 100%. You know, honestly, if there was a Trader Joe around here, I would get a small part-time job there.
Those
100%.
are always super fun.
Yeah.
And friendly. You know why?
Yes.
Because they're not in a union with a grocery store. And the only reason I know that is because when the grocery stores went on strike, when I lived in California, Trader Joe's is the only one that didn't go on strike.
Interesting. I know, speaking of California, like all the crap that's going down in LA, I did check in with my cousin Erica today to make sure she's okay. And they're like south by the beach. And she said they're fine. But that's... Ugh.
Can you imagine throwing rocks at cop cars?
No.
No, that is not a peaceful protest.
No.
Kids.
When I see a police officer, I'm like, am I doing anything wrong?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to be
I feel
like on my
guilty.
best behavior right now.
I feel guilty.
Yeah, right.
Do I look
guilty.
drunk?
I didn't even do anything. 1, 2, 3, sober.
Exactly. I know. It's like a lack of respect.
Yes.
I don't want to get into it. But yeah, that's a shit show. Wow.
I'm just happy that my cousin Erica is safe.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you, Erica.
And she was the like behind the scenes chef on that new Kim Kardashian TV show.
What's that?
So there's this new lawyer TV show.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian's in it, but like other like A-name like actors and actresses.
Really?
I can't think of any of them off the top of my head.
They're so prominent.
Glenn Close, I think.
What?
I should probably. I might be lying.
Stop.
Can somebody Google the new Kim Kardashian lawyer show? Okay, thank you. Yes, there's like good. Possibly.
But where is this being? What?
See?
It's like an actual show, though, right?
It's an actual like series, like
kidding.
drama TV show.
So
Yes.
what do they do?
They're lawyers, but they're like, it's a female law firm and
Okay.
basically protecting females. Is there? Oh, they're divorce lawyers.
Oh,
okay.
I would love
Yes.
to be a
So
divorce lawyer.
Erica's husband, set designer, lead set designer.
Yeah.
So any and every set, whether it's in the law firm,
Mm-hmm.
in someone's home, restaurants, all that kind of stuff, everything from what the salt and pepper shaker is to the beautiful art on the wall, he curates all of it. And then she does all of the food.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So there's a guy that I follow on Instagram.
Yes. See?
Oh.
It is Glenn Close. I was right.
Oh. She is a badass.
Right? Well, she was in that other lawyer show.
Well, and who is the other, the girl on the right? What's her
In the
name?
purple?
Sarah Paulson. Yes.
Yes, she's in all those witch
American
shows. Horror Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Right?
So good. So good. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Kim Kardashian's a big pull. Let's see if she can act.
She can't. But I
They have her
admire
front and
her
center, and
scheme.
her name is at the top.
Yeah, she probably funded it. She can act.
Somebody in the
Oh
background
my
said she
God.
could act. Circa,
Peanut
what was that?
gallery.
2000? Yeah.
Yeah.
The sex tape.
Oh my God. That's
Nothing
how she got
happened in that
famous.
sex tape. It was the dumbest sex
Was
tape
it?
ever. Yeah, she had a bikini top on the whole time.
No way.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
What did he say? She did it? Oh, what I saw, she had a bikini top on the whole time.
never saw
Maybe
it.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
I never saw it. But
Good
I
for
would
her.
imagine it was some sort of.
Okay, it set up her family for life.
This is true.
So if I was her, I would walk into every family function. I would walk into everybody's home. I would walk into every business that they own and be like, "You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome."
I got you a career. I got
right?
you a career.
I
and
wonder
got
if
you a
everybody pays her royalties,
Wouldn't you think?
right?
Including her mom?
I'd be like, "You owe me 1%." 1%.
1%.
Yeah.
And then her dad is probably like in the grave going, "You're welcome for the last name."
Yes, right? Well, have you seen like the videos that have surfaced that, I mean, Kim Kardashian used to be Paris Hilton's assistant. So she was a nobody in the background, following her around,
Yeah.
carrying her purse, carrying the dog, doing all the things, organizing her closet. And now she's worth
Yeah.
way more than Paris Hilton.
Yeah. I mean, Paris is worth a lot. Though,
Paris
too.
is worth a lot. Kim Kardashian's worth more.
Paris also still does DJing.
Okay. Okay. Not signing up. Not signing up
does.
for that party.
I mean, I think she's,
Oh, well,
Retirement,
hey, you
we
know,
could DJ,
next career,
Katie.
never give up.
Hey,
always
if we're
pivot.
going to live until 120, we have a whole life ahead of us.
Right? You know, my phase two, like granted, I have a full-time job. I like my job. But what I'm doing, it might not have a revenue stream or not, but bringing bar to people and gluten-free food to people, that's like real.
Yeah.
And people can actually do it. And it's not something where you're like, well, that looks amazing, but you'll never do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I know I tried making Jell-O today. I'll TBD how it turned out. I tried using that like fruity clear protein.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'd put chopped up strawberries and put it in there.
Okay. Should we put vodka in it too?
No,
Like a Jell-O
I didn't
shot?
turn it into Jell-O shots. Although that would be interesting. Get a little protein and a buzz.
You never
know.
Why not put it all together?
But the summertime, it's too easy for me just to want to like have ice cream. And have you been to that new ice cream place in Sanford?
no.
Salt Cream or something?
Where's that? The Whippy Dip?
Nope.
Oh.
Salt Spring. Salt Spring.
that?
It's on like Main Street in Sanford. It's like custard. It's
Really?
so good. I'm going to say it's the best ice cream in 5 counties. It's so good. I took one taste of it and I go, I am a little girl in South Chicago at Andy's Hot Dogs, and there's like semi trucks and everything like rolling by this little
So
trailer.
it's really heavy. It's like custard.
It's heavy, yes, and it's like comes out of the soft serve. I don't
know if
love
I can do
hard
it. Yeah.
scoop ice cream.
I don't love custard.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
this
more
is
of
like
a
this stuff is a
sherbet.
dream.
Or I don't eat ice cream really that much because it gives me bad tummy ache.
Oh, I'm not saying I feel good afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, let's go get some ice
Yeah.
cream. Where maybe now we just drive around instead and eat our protein Jell-O.
There you go.
You know?
Interesting.
Right? I don't know. I'm just trying to find different ways to still be snacky and have it just be a little bit healthier.
I can't wait to try your new thing.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Let's go.
I made popsicles with it.
You did. Oh, that would be good.
No, it was good. They melt in your mouth super fast, but it gives you enough to like, you know, curb the sweet.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like feel good eating it because it's protein.
I wonder if you can make like a sherbet. Or like a,
Ooh.
you know, like a
TBD,
icy,
Meko. Yes.
icy slushy type of thing.
Well, because I have my like big ice machine. I
you
could
go.
put that in the Ninja.
Yeah. With flavor.
Trying it.
Do it. And then you could almost like an icy,
Yes.
you know? That'd be good.
Did you have like one of those like Snoopy snow cone makers when
I
you were
did
little?
not.
I
You were
didn't either.
Pole.
The girl down the street had one. We would play with it at her house.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't have shit. We didn't. Barely had regular ice.
You're like my dad when he's like, I didn't have GI Joes. I played with 2 sticks in the yard.
That's basically my childhood. Okay, so one big thing
Yes.
in our age group, this is happening all over the world, all over our friend group, is we are the sandwich generation.
Yeah.
Meaning we are dealing with our aging parents and our kids who are leaving the nest and going on their own, which is great, but you still have to maintain the, you know, like they got to figure out their budget. They got to, you know, they're just learning. They're just opening their eyes to the world. And our parents, we're taking care of them as well. At least we are. I mean, you aren't yet.
We're not there yet. Yeah.
But it's like financially, it's hard. Emotionally, it's extremely hard because you're trying to also talk to your parents like they're children again. Like, what are we doing?
But there is times like traveling, like to put my mom and dad on an airplane. Like, how did you function in life? Like, this is not hard.
Right.
You know,
But they
and I get it when you
didn't
don't
travel a lot.
No, we were a car family.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing, Chris always laughs about, when you went out to eat, no appetizers. Straight,
I
just
didn't even know there
straight to the
was
meal.
any. Yeah.
Straight to the meal. So I'll never forget the first time we took Chris to like the family pizzeria that we would always go to, and it was San Fratello's. And he'd be like, "Can we get like some like mozzarella cheese sticks, fried zucchini?"
right.
And I was like, "Oh no, we don't do appetizers. You're gonna get any pasta salad. You're gonna get your pizza."
Done. Full stop.
Yeah. No, that's really difficult, right? Because one thing about like Kylie getting older, you know, like she's going away to school. Like, yeah, she had a curfew last night. I kind of wanted to be like, use your discretion, but she's still asking. So if she's asking, I'm going to be like,
say whatever time you think is appropriate. That's what I tell my girl.
I know, but I also don't want her to be like the girl right now where it's like, I don't have to be home at all.
She
Woo!
won't.
You
She
know?
won't.
No.
She
No,
won't.
she
She's
won't.
too old for that.
She's still, and I mean, I love it because this is how we raised her. You know, I mean, she goes to the bathroom, you know, no, that's an exaggeration. But if she's like at a friend's house and then like the mom had like a pickup order and her and the friend went to family fair to go pick up the groceries. Like she let me know that she was going to family fair to pick up the groceries.
Right. So you don't have to be worried about her with curfew because she will be very responsible and respectful.
Yeah.
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 Which is, I just tell my girls, like, they're like, what? Even when Alex comes home, she's like, what time do you have me home? I'm like, I don't fucking care. Just tell me when you're home.
Yeah.
But that's number one. Number two, there is nothing to do in this town.
No, you just got to like hang out with people.
Unless you're in the woods somewhere, which is
Yeah.
frightening. But then they, and I always make them come into my room
to say
say
goodnight.
goodnight.
They're home.
Yeah. And say they're home, which often wakes me up. But that's okay.
No, but it's the safety version of
Yeah.
like I did not have Kylie come wake me up last night because Chris was home, so he gets to deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But, like that. But the aging parent thing is a real thing. And it's hard. It's difficult. It's difficult going through like the stages of aging of your parents at the same time that you're trying to, get through life with your kids. And it's a balance of not only finances, but it's a balance of emotions and try not to lose your shit half the time. Because half the time you're like, I'm trying to be patient with everybody, and everyone is really like getting on my nerves.
Oh, yeah.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's a dance
Yeah.
for us.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys are in a spot like with parents that we have not reached yet.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, when it comes to Chris's parents, like he has 2 brothers that have very active relationships with their parents. So we would never be like on our own in that situation.
Yeah, which is nice.
Right?
So I'm an only child-ish.
Yeah.
Right? I have step people. And Randy is one of 2. So that's good. So his sister has taken the brunt of all of the caring in
Because she lives
Canada.
closer.
'Cause she lives
Yeah.
closer. But, you know, for me and my mom, I'm her only child. And so it's just everything is on me and Randy. Like he takes a lot of it too. And it's a lot. I feel like it's just a lot of like, it's like having a third child in a way. Like she helps us a lot. But at the same time, we are constantly trying to figure out like, okay, so she needs a new house. How are we going to do that? How are we navigating? When my dad died, how are we navigating like selling his farm and like doing whatever with it to try to keep out of the reach of his other kids? I don't know. It's a shit show.
Right.
And it can tend to be like very straining on your relationship with your current spouse if they don't understand. Thank God I have the right person and partner.
Yes.
But it can be a real like shit show at the same time that you're trying to like be a good parent.
Yeah. No, and you want to set a good example because you know that you're going to be in that spot someday, right? So, you know, like me choosing my parenting style, sometimes it's I chose to do this just the same way my parents did because it was an aspect that I loved about my childhood or how I was raised. And then a lot of time I do the exact opposite because that was the way I wish it was, you know? So, and I mean, it's not like anybody did anything wrong. It's just the way that you choose to do it. But at the same time, when it comes to having to take care of your parents when they get older, because granted, I'm not an only child, but I'm the only child that my parents talk to. And that's not by their design. You know what I mean? So, right, it's a good example for Kylie because she's our only child. Like it will all fall on her, right? And you know, right now my parents still have each other, but it will be very different if one goes before the other, you know? And balancing, you know, what is the personality going to be? How are they going to be able to handle life without, for sure.
You know, who are they going to live with? Or are they going to be, you know, we're sort of at a crossroad of like, okay, are they going to be put into assisted living? Are they going to, you know, what's the next move? And sometimes all the time it's their choice when they can do it.
Yes.
Sometimes it gets to a point where I have friends whose parents, it's not a choice anymore because they're in a situation where their parents can't make that decision or they're too sick or whatever. And so then the burden is on you as the child to be like, okay, I cannot take care of my
mom
parent.
and my auntie stopped speaking to each other and my auntie stopped speaking to my grandpa as well because my grandma, who I mean was not mentally there at all, was like pulling out her feeding tube, but you know, was just inches away every day from passing away. And my auntie didn't want her, she wasn't like on life support, but she wasn't staying alive on her own, right? And it was no quality of life at all. She was never going to leave the hospital. She was never going to get better. But, you know, people have a hard time letting go.
Yeah.
And I understand that the emotional part of it completely. But yeah, I mean, my grandpa ultimately made the decision, but my mom agreed with him that, okay, let's just take the feeding tube out because she would pull it out multiple times a day.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, okay, let's just take it out and like
See what happens
and just, you know, let her go on her own time.
Well, this is the exact reason that everybody needs to have their wishes written down within a trust or a will legally so that there is less guessing work
Right.
in the equation. So even if emotions are high and someone's sick and someone's not, and the person that's not sick like tries to come on board and say, well, no, we need to keep this person alive or not. Like, it needs to be the wishes of that person.
Well, do you remember that the pit? Like when that sweet old man was
Yes.
passing away and like the brother and sister were there.
They
You
were
know what I mean?
arguing. Like,
Well,
it can
yeah.
break a relationship, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, everybody needs to have their wishes done. So here's a PSA. Go to your attorney. Get all that shit taken care of. We do it God, we're kind of due. So our attorney is pretty good about, we have videotapes of Randy and I when we first were married, when our kids were little.
Oh, that's
And I think
funny.
the last one was when we lived in California still. So they were like, 10 and 8.
Yeah.
And like our wishes for them at that point. And like we try to do it every 10,
Yeah.
years to just have our wishes and our wishes for our kids. And then, I mean, it's like emotional to do.
Yeah.
Because you can't fathom ever doing that. But I just know, because I've been put in a situation where I am ultimately going to make the decision. I did for my dad and I will for my mom. So I don't want that burden on my kids.
Right.
I want them to be completely free of that and just be like, Mom wanted this. I want a fucking party at my funeral. Let's go. But like,
Do you want me to spin glow sticks?
you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. But I mean, I don't want that on my kids, because I think that is the biggest like sandwich generation thing
Yeah.
that is like kind of heavy. It's really heavy.
Yeah. You just don't want to think about any of it.
You don't want to think about it.
No.
That's the problem with our parents' generation, is they didn't want to think about it.
Yeah.
But you have to think about it. You have to think about the hard things.
No, and it's tough because, and I just, I don't want to think about them ever being in a position where they're like sick and,
But the best time to talk about it is when they're not.
No. All that stuff's taken care of. I'm talking about just regrets, right? Just because I normally don't talk about this, but my sister just not being in our lives.
Yeah.
So, and that's tough. And
Yeah.
that's a heavy cloud.
It's a heavy cloud.
It's a heavy
Yeah.
cloud. And and there's certain like wins and everything in life where, you wish you could tell that person and talk to that person about it, and you can't.
You
So
can't.
it's just a bummer.
Yeah, I know, it's hard.
So-
and we just lost Randy's dad, and that was really hard. But thankfully, they had everything in order.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like not easy. It's never easy.
No,
when
it's
you lose
never
somebody.
easy, but there's no guesswork involved.
But there's no guesswork.
Yeah.
Like, his mom is very sharp. She's very with it. She's very on top of everything and knows exactly what he wanted, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the best outcome.
Yeah.
And they were never afraid. I think that was what was really great about his parents, is they were never afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Whereas like other people kind of are, like in my mom's family, they
Yeah.
kind of are like shy to talk about it, which is bizarre because a lot of people have died. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so aging parents and college kids is just a weird combo.
It is.
And I think it's because we're living longer, which is
Well,
why we
and that's something
endure
you have
this.
to be prepared for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then another topic
Mm-hmm.
was the evolution of parenting as our kids get older.
Yeah.
Which is so true. You don't think about it. Like, you parent them differently. Obviously, they're not 2.
Yeah.
They're not in junior high. And also, they're not in high school anymore. So, like, just the curfew thing, but
Yeah.
like just anything, right? Like, so now you can now I have the freedom to feel like I can be their friend. Like, forever,
sure.
I was sort of like, nope,
Yeah.
that is not my deal, because I need them to be their independent person before we can like be buddies.
Yeah.
And now I feel like, okay, I feel like I want to, know them, and getting to know Alex as an adult is different. It's different because I haven't lived with her in 2 years.
Yeah. No, it's crazy that you say that, because people do say, like, when your kid comes home, like at Thanksgiving, like all of a sudden they're going to be different, and the scary statistic that by the time your child, graduates from high school, 90% of the time that you will spend with them in your lifetime has been spent.
It's done.
It's
It's done. Like,
and
That is it.
Right? And I mean, our kids are going to in-state schools, which is great because you do get to see them more often than if your child was out of state or a plane right away. But the real deal is, what if they have like a boyfriend, you know, or a girlfriend that they're like, well, I'm going to go to so-and-so's for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to, you know, well, I know I have 4 weeks at Christmas, but you know, I have this off-campus job and I kind of have to be around till here. And then I'll like come to your place for a little bit, but then I'm going to so-and-so's. I mean, that's
hard.
Yeah.
We experienced that this year. Alex spent half of her Christmas break with Zach and his family, and then she came home.
Yeah.
For Christmas. But like, it's sort of, I don't know. It sucked.
Yeah.
Because I wanted her the full time. But also, I had to give up the whole like, oh my God, you have a life now.
Yeah.
Without me. Mm-hmm. And it's weird.
That you don't have a thumbprint on.
I don't have anything on except paying the bills.
Yeah.
Up until this point,
Yeah.
right? But then after,
she's
almost done. And so, I don't know, it's hard. But just the compromise. But you've raised a great child, as have I. And they always come home at some point. Mm-hmm. You know, they figure it out. They know what's important to you as a mom and as a parent. And they are very grateful of like Alex had her first week of work this week or 2 weeks ago. And, you know, just hearing about it, even if it's just on text or, you know, she's very proud of her new apartment and like FaceTiming us and all of that seems like it all comes back.
Well, it's one thing to be in charge of your dorm room or your college apartment. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to be in a new city. You're not in a college environment, right? You're going to work every day. And granted, she's not like in real life yet, but it's real life, right?
It's a real life simulator.
You know? And I mean, she's living with her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Like it's, you know, it's a real life simulator for sure.
Yeah.
You know, because that could make or break their relationship.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
But, you know, you have raised a great girl, as have I.
Yes, for sure.
And they will come back.
No, I know.
It's like a boomerang effect.
I think so. And I mean, we have fun together, right? So that's the main thing, for sure. And I don't know. I probably entered the friend zone a little while she was still in high school. But not having another sibling and just the way that we've spent time together when Chris travels, it's always just been like the two of us palling around. Sure. But I'm really excited to go visit her at school.
Oh,
that's going to be so fun.
It'll be so cool to watch. There's a bug.
Yes, flying around.
It'll be really cool to watch her evolve. Mm-hmm. Really fun.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh my God, she's like a full adult.
I know.
And I did that. I made her.
I know.
Yeah.
So
it'll be fun.
But yeah, and I mean, you're always a mom, and then you're gonna kind of like be like in this like swing of we get to do our own thing, and like you're momming it out, and then your kid gets married, and then you become a grandma.
I know my friend Shelly is experiencing that, and she's like, "It's awesome."
I could only imagine like being a mom is super fun. Being a grandma. I mean, I don't want to be a grandma for like 10 years, but you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You just have more patience. And you're like, oh, this is super fun. Now
especially because you can give them back. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Meko, this week I brought the wine. What is your vibe?
It was good. It was a good Tuesday wine. So a little bitey at first.
It was a little bitey at first.
Yeah. But then after like the second glass, it was fine.
So you're not, like when you look at it, you go, oh my God, it's a 2016 cab from Napa Valley. You think it's going to be like so smooth and crazy amazing. It's not a Tuesday wine. It's over the Tuesday wine price.
Oh, okay.
It is.
What was the price?
It kind of tastes like a Tuesday wine. So I got it on a special for like $40. You can't get it anymore, but when you could, it was like a $60 bottle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was swindled by Instagram. So I was like, oh my, you think 2016 cab, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's not awful.
No.
So
it's good.
But
it's good.
Yeah.
Like after the second glass.
Yeah. So
cheers.
All right, cheers.
We're going to start a new thing, a new tradition.
Yes.
Okay.
New segment.
What is your favorite thing of the week? Katie?
Favorite thing of the week. So we're going to alternate between that and like a Mythbusters.
Yeah.
But this week is favorite thing of the week. So my new favorite thing of the week is, so you've seen this on Instagram because it's like the aging lady makeup and it's that Laura Geller like baked palette and everybody says it's like so easy to travel with. Have you not seen this?
I have not.
So it comes
Who's Laura
with,
Geller?
I don't know, a makeup lady.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Bobby Brown for older ladies, I guess. I don't know. So it's a palette and it has all that stuff. So when I did go to Nashville, it was super easy.
Okay.
Like, cause I just
they
had
do
that
one for like every
foundation
skin
power.
tone?
So this is the just kind of would fit everybody's skin, I guess.
Okay, I like that.
I would say that the bronzer is very light. So it's not
looks dark there.
overdone and it goes on really nicely. I love the blush. And the eyeshadows are just like easy, neutral eyeshadows. It's nothing crazy.
Eyeshadows are up top.
Eyeshadows up top, bronzer on the
Bronzer.
left, blush on the right, and then the two different highlighters are in the middle. So I still put like my own foundation on, an eyeliner, but everything else was in this
That's
little compact.
amazing.
It was so great. It was awesome to travel with.
How many brushes do you need?
I take all my brushes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fair.
a little particular about my brushes.
Well,
And
your brushes do
different things.
Like yes.
And I didn't learn how to do my makeup until I was like 37 years old.
Well, I always feel like I need a refresher.
If you turn this around the other side, there's literally a diagram on how to put all that makeup on your face.
Okay, I love it.
So if you don't have somebody telling you how to do it, there's a diagram on
Okay, I
it,
need to order that.
like where
ASAP.
your eyeshadow goes, the blush, all that kind of stuff. And then like you can see like there's different kits on Amazon. Like yes, you could go to this chick's website and get it. I got it on Amazon because I knew I was leaving in 2 days and I was not waiting for hers. So that's why I got it on Amazon.
So the blush, did you like the color? Or was
I
it-
love the color.
Okay, because you said the bronzer was light. So
The bronzer's light, but I actually really like that. The only thing I use my older, darker bronzer for is I put two little lines right here on my nose. And then blend
For,
it
like,
in.
contouring?
Yeah.
Okay.
But just the way that I think it's all baked and has like a little bit of shimmer, it just sits on like your skin better.
Okay.
So
I'll try it.
yeah. So that's my new favorite thing of the week.
So mine is a 1-inch bionic curling iron.
Oh,
Thank you, Stephanie Chiat,
okay.
who introduced me to this. And it's for my shorter hair. So her feedback to me was that my curling iron was too large of a barrel
Okay.
to use for
Your shorter
my
hair?
shorter hair. And this can get the curl, but not a curl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love it.
I know. I love your bob.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. It's so fitting for your face.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, I've been trying to get you to get that
I know.
haircut for a long time.
I think I like longer hair because you can do more.
Yeah.
You can do more. You can braid your hair. You can do all the
Yeah.
cool things with it. But ultimately, I never do.
Right.
And so shorter is okay for me because also I've told this before, but when my hair gets to a certain length, it gets really like gross and like dental flossy. And so this is a much better length so that it looks fuller. Because I have a lot of hair. It's just not thick.
No,
like yours.
that is the right haircut for you. And I get it. Like you had no choice but to have short hair for a period, right? In a season. So yeah, why not grow it out? Because you can.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But
it just gets piecey at the ends. Like I don't have long, luscious hair like you do. I would have to buy that hair.
so the chick that does my hair also does the hair of somebody who comes like faithfully to my 5:30 a.m. bar classes. And she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, do you do Katie Kiefer's hair extensions? And she's like, oh girl, those are not extensions. And she was like, ah, damn it, that's her real hair. You know, so it was kind of funny.
This is true.
But
People pay for hair like that.
I know. But it's just like titties, right? When you have naturally like thick, luscious hair, yeah, it's wonderful. But you have to deal with humidity and like the real shit that goes on with your hair.
But your option is always to pull it back.
My option is always to pull it back. And I don't have
put it
to
in a
worry
hat
about
or
like,
whatever.
you know, the tracks and stuff of my extensions. But it's just like titties. Like when the big titties like came out and everybody was going to get them and they would get these new dresses and new styles. It doesn't work for ladies with real titties.
Yes, this is true.
Because I have to wear like granny bras.
Yeah.
Although bras have come a long way. When I was in high school, it was awful. Now, bras have come a long way.
The
so I have to
technology
say,
is better.
Yes.
So I had a comment about my boobs one day.
You did? Mm-hmm. On the podcast?
No.
Or like in life?
In life.
Oh.
And how they were so big and out there. And I was like, thank you. They're paid for.
Right.
And I earned them.
I think your tits are great.
And the person was just like kind of taken aback, like thought I was like being a bitch about it. And I was like, no, I earned these because I had breast cancer.
Yeah, but you're kind of being a bitch about the fact that like calling you out for having big titties.
Which is why I wanted to put it back in her face.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. I had breast cancer and I earned these. And this person's face was just like, I'm like, okay, so don't comment on people's tits if you don't know the whole fucking story.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Of story. But that was just my little zinger to
Tell me
her.
who it is and I'll trip them when I see next time.
Okay, so we have a little teaser. We have something coming new.
Oh, we do.
Us.
We're developing our website.
Yeah.
Well, not just us personally, like grinding.
We're
like, putting our
not
website together,
behind the scenes like.
No, but we did get a preview of it, and it's starting to look
super
really,
cool.
really good.
Super cool. So I'm
So
excited.
yes, so you'll have the shows. We're gonna have like blog posts. We'll have all the little excerpts of like our favorite things, our Mythbusters, all of our little like digital shorts. We're thinking about doing a digital book club.
Oh, that would be fun.
Right?
Just like Candace Owens.
Yes. Maybe not as controversial, but yes.
She does a digital book club, and it's always on like conspiracy theory shit.
The thing is she off of maternity leave yet?
Yeah, she always has to come back though, because there's so much going on.
There's so much going on. I need to catch up on like the Blake Justin Baldoni stuff with her.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, people give her real information.
They do.
So
like she gets it from. She's not political.
Yeah,
in
I'm pretty
my
sure
eyes.
Taylor Swift's dad's calling her and is like, listen,
I think
here's
he
the
kind of
411.
is. That's where I got that info.
Right?
Because she's like gets it from all angles.
So
And breaks it down.
And we've gotten a lot of love in like DMs and
Yes.
stuff. And I just want to throw some of it out. One, Ivy. Ivy, thank you so much for being such a faithful listener. So fantastic. But we had our 30s episode. And she was like, I absolutely love this episode. Just turned 29. And it's so perfect timing from two women that I adore. Right?
That's very sweet.
So great.
Thank you.
And then because she said we are such an inspiration, that she's going to go to our concierge person for all of her blood work and get it all figured out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you're not
At
too
least
young to
have
do
a
it.
baseline.
Yes, for
Good baseline.
sure.
Good for you, Ivy.
I know. I love that.
That's awesome. So keep it coming. Let us know
Yes.
if you have any questions, if you have any topics that we can talk about.
So, and we have a new email address. So you could totally email us
Yes.
at info@listenhere'sthething.com.
We're very official.
Right. So official. So fancy.
And follow us on our Instagram.
Yes.
We have Facebook, right?
We have Facebook. I'm going to be honest, friend. We don't really keep up with the Facebook.
We keep up with
Instagram, we're
Instagram.
all in.
And the
We're
TikTok.
growing on TikTok.
And the TikTok. Do I say that like a 50-year-old lady? The
we're
TikTok.
on the TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I still have a couple of kittens if anybody wants one.
You didn't put bows on them and just hand them out?
Not yet because they're
You
not
should have brought
technically
them
ready.
all to the club for the party.
Oh, for the party?
Put them in
They're
a
not ready,
basket.
but I did have all those families at my house.
Yeah.
I'm delivering two to Tessa.
Did any of your Detroit friends take any?
No, they're not on board. Doesn't mean I'm not showing up at their house. Listen, they're not going to tell their girls no if I show up with
they
kittens
have
at their door.
little girls.
Yes. So, but I was told, someone did DM me and tell me that I cannot drop them off at the Cozy Cat Cafe.
Oh, really?
Nope, you can't just drop cats off at the Cozy Cat Cafe.
What do they have to be?
They come from like the
neutered?
Humane Society. I guess the cafe is on one side, and then it's kind of like a Humane Society on the other side, but you can go in a room and play with cats.
Okay. If you cannot bring animals to the farmer's market,
Yeah.
how can we have a cat cafe?
Well, the cats are separate from the actual cafe.
But still, you can bring your coffee over to the cafe part
maybe.
and pet your cat.
Maybe.
That's the dumbest rule ever. I'm sorry.
To the farmer's
Midland.
market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You trying
dumb.
to tell me Mr. Nugget can't go to the farmer's market?
I brought my dog there once and they're like, I'm sorry, your dog can't be here. I'm like, she is not going to bite anyone, first of all. Second of all, she's not going to shit anywhere.
No.
And third of all, I'm sure the people that are walking around here have more shit on them than my dog hair.
I mean, Mr. Nugget could walk around Nordstrom's and Bloomingdale's in New York City, but he can't walk around the farmer's market.
In any farmer's market in America, go check. You can bring a dog.
So that needs to change. It does. It definitely needs to.
We're an
Where was
anti-dog
I?
town.
I was somewhere just recently, and I loved that the person just was like walking around with their dog in the store. And I can't think about
In
I can't think of
California,
what it was.
you can bring your dog literally anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're at the doctor's office and you're like, I need my dog here.
Yeah. Well,
It doesn't even have to have a
The thing
a
is,
vest.
it's like they can't like even legally ask you if it is an emotional support animal.
Seriously?
Yeah. So
No, you can go anywhere. You can go to any restaurant and just bring your dog.
yeah.
And no one cares.
And you should be able to.
Yeah.
And guess what? If your dog doesn't know how to behave in a restaurant, one,
probably
that's
not
on
bringing
you.
them.
And you shouldn't bring them. Yeah. Oh, I know. So then Aurelia texted because we talked about Mr. Nugget should be able to go to Olympia Fields for the golf tournament. Sadly, no dogs are allowed at Olympia Fields.
Okay,
so
that's rude.
she was like, "Sorry, Mr. Nugget." But I loved it. She was like, I was behind on podcasts, so I she like binge listened and she has some comments. She wanted to. I guess we gave her a shout out on the menopause episode, but Aurelia, I love you. You're the best. Tessa is getting kittens. Mr. Nugget's not allowed at Olympia Fields. And, she told me I should come down early when Chris and Kylie go fishing, but they're going on different dates now. So, and she loved the Super Dave episode.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Very cute.
Yes. So keep the comments coming. We'll talk about you. We'll give you a shout out.
And if you don't, we'll talk about you.
Cheers.
Cheers.